time for that. I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I say boom, 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 and everybody say way-ho.
Well,
do you wanna start a cult with me?
ain't nobody got time for that.
Hey, let's go, y'all, let's go, party getting started. And we're live. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 23 of Convos. Well, hello there. I call it that because we've missed a few weeks in a row for you guys here. Three hosts, busy lives, all that mumbo jumbo. We'll get into all that later. I, as always, am your illustrious host, Murph, aka theDirtyKenzo, and as always, to my immediate right, my beautiful better half, Queen Kellz, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Our third partner in crime, if you will, Pamela J, will be up momentarily. She likes to show her love in the chat first, and we greatly appreciate her for that. Put this up first before we go through our comments in the chat. We will open the panel up after intros and all that. Get it kind of the energy flowing, and then we'll say, hey guys, click the link if you want to come up and all that then. So please hang in there. We appreciate you guys. Number one, the best co-host and the best wife, Queen Kellz. Excuse me, we just ate and I just had a burp. Convos, when three of the best hosts on YouTube converge together to discuss whatever the fuck they want. If you haven't noticed, this is an adult program. We do give a not safe for work warning. Put your headphones in because we talk a lot of shit around here. As well as a parental advisory warning. If you're a parent and you could hear my voice coming through your child's device, Watch your badass fucking kid over here listening to this malarkey. What are you doing as a parent? We appreciate you guys. Definitely tune in. We have a Convos Tuesdays, Cooking with Kellz Fridays will be coming back, as well as Nostalgic Breakfast. We are underground right now. Reach out by email, which is on the screen, or Instagram, same names, and we'll get you that secret access. As you see, Queen Kellz is dropping our shows. 420, I'm not 100% if I'm bringing fully back, guys. We may bring it back different. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with it. Cuzzo Joe Mers is in the building. I see you. Ladies of iTalk. iTalk supports you, and I support iTalk. Appreciate you, ladies of iTalk. Make sure you guys are subscribing to Ladies of iTalk as well as iTalk proper. Queen Kellz is dropping their links in the chat. Great content. Great vibes. No, what we all look for around here. No fuck shit. Just great content. Lotus Flowers in the building. Subscribe to Lotus as well, guys. Haley said, if I'm not here, I'm asleep, but still love and support. You guys have a great live. We appreciate you, Haley. We appreciate all of our UK family. We know you guys are 5 hours ahead of us, so for you to even be here midnight, 1 a.m. your time, it doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. Thank you so much, Haley. Haley was one of our first Patreon members. You guys can become a member on Patreon. Queen Kellz drops that link through the chat. Salute to our Patreon members, Haley, Nat, GMA, Queen Kellz, and of course, Thursday. Chuck, great to see you, my brother. Thank you for the welcome back. As you guys see, those links are being dropped in the chat. Feel free to subscribe. If we give you a link, you can usually rest assured it's a good place. Coco, great to see you. That's a fact, Queen Kellz. Please don't forget to like, y'all. Likes are the commodity here on YouTube. That is the currency. Thursday is in the building. Look at all these great people up in here. Miss Sharonda, we got a great squad up in here tonight. I see y'all. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Before we even get started, give yourselves a round of applause. I know we about to have some fun tonight. We got the best co-host under the sun, Pamela J. Pammy, feel free to come up whenever you want. GMA is the best. Guys, that song you heard in the beginning was Mayfield by yours truly. That will be dropping soon. So I have a few songs. Stay tuned for those. As well as anyone that watches Nostalgic, we're going to be doing a viewer request episode again. So we will be trying to figure out a time to get some requests from you guys on some oldies you'd like to hear on the show and stuff like that. Here, I'll give you this one in case. So if any time during the show song pops in your head, just make sure you guys, Queen Kellz, Nostalgic, request. That's all. Just so we could get our heads around it, if you will. AAA, Amateur Aquatic Addiction, salute. Appreciate you. Great to see you in here. My chat's jumping, everybody, so please bear with me for 1 second. Mrs. Bobby Anna. And guys, I do know this takes a while to go through the hellos, but I want everyone to feel as welcome as everyone else, Definitely congratulations to our sisters at the Ladies of iTalk on hitting 500. They work hard and they deserve it. We're, glad to see it and proud of you guys. Happy for you guys, you ladies. All right, I do think we're caught up on the hellos. I do believe. If I missed anyone, just say, hey, Murph, and I'll make sure to try to say hi. Mrs. Ivy, you made it. She didn't let, I almost said Jack Frost. She didn't let the Sandman nip at her nose and knock her out, make her fall asleep. We got P3 in the building. We appreciate you coming to us live from the land down under. She's from the future. We appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome. So as I said, guys, we did miss a few weeks here, just between work and, Kellz is getting a new schedule. Pam's getting a new schedule. My work is hardly ever scheduled. It kind of gets a little chaotic. So, we don't really want to miss shows because we understand, like, we have such a good time and there's a lot of bullshit on YouTube. You know what I mean? And it's like when we have these good places, we want them to be available. We want to be able to go there, you know, just to be able to detach. Let me go to a place where I could have fun, but it's not like, you know, stick in the mud or shit like that. You know what I mean? Like we still have fun here. We go out, but we're not here for the bullshit. We're here to, you know, talk to each other, gain some perspective on people, hear some varied opinions from people all over the place. You know, not be boxed in by one or two opinions. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button for us. You are listening to Convos right here on your favorite pirate radio station, the Dirty Kenzo. Appreciate you guys. Pammy, come up whenever you're free, sis. We will be opening the panel shortly after Pammy comes up. Anyone is let me be specific. I almost said it again. Any of our hosts, myself, Queen Kellz, or Pamela J, does hold the right to deny anyone at any time for any reason. I just like to throw that out there. I would never want Pam, Queen Kellz, anyone. I don't want anyone to feel.
The pen link isn't working.
It's not working?
I'll get it.
Okay. I don't want anyone to ever feel alienated on a show that they host. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the way I look at it. We're not out here denying everybody, but of course there's a few that, you know, you just want to click the link to stir up trouble, or we're not for that. You want to click the link and join the conversation, talk about some shit that you know, adults want to talk about, then please feel free.
You can try it, but don't be upset when you're booted or.
Well, that's all I'm saying. I don't want people to be like, oh, they don't let anyone, you know, listen, we'll state it beforehand. Anyone holds the right to deny, you know. I'll say, if I go, hey, Pammy, it's, I use Chuck because he's family. But if I'm like, hey, Pam, it's Chuck, do you mind if he comes up? And Pam's like, you know, we don't always get along. I can, you know, I don't want anyone to be like, oh, they're just denying people. No, we're going to deny somebody if we feel like it's going to make one of the hosts uncomfortable. A boy said, finally, I get a chance to tune in. My guy, I'm glad you made it. Appreciate everybody just coming in, getting comfortable. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button for us. We are working through some technical link issues, if you will. But we're getting the one and only amazing Pamela J up here, our third co-host, and just a great delight in the community. If you know Pam, you know she's a delightful person, great perspective, and you know, we're glad to have her as our third. I believe this might be her here. And as you see, guys, we do always keep our overlay up so we don't have to pull it up for baby dicks. Pammy!
I'm here. Do you see me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Pammy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Damn, every headset I have is a piece of crap.
Yeah, I don't trust headsets. Allie, salute. Great to see you over here. Thank you for coming through. Aaron Views, I gotta wrench you up after this, Aaron. I needed you to comment before the live started, sis, but it's all right. It's all right. So what's up, sis? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me good now?
I hear you perfect.
Yeah.
Ivy, we'll do the request thing, I guess, as long as
They can drop them in the chat.
well, she said, how long is this spot? I was gonna say until you get sick of it. Until Kel says that's enough. But honestly, it's we do 30 songs, so we'll do the 30 song cutoff,
Do
or
up to like 20, and then or 25.
yeah, do 25. That way, the last 5, me and you can get our picks in and shit like
And
that.
yeah, what are the years that you?
The years you want to go between, we've expanded it a little more. It was 1989. Now we're going up to 1999. So you're looking at.
And Ivy meant what year to what year.
Oh, okay, cool. So Pammy just asked that. So we're going, let's say 50s to 99, all the way up to 2000.
Okay.
Because I do know we were cutting it off at 89 and 90, but it's, as you've seen on our alternative episode a couple of weeks ago, it's like, if we made that the cutoff, there would have never been that show. Every fucking song up there was 93 or more.
Yeah, it was, because it was what, soundtracks and stuff, or what was it?
The one before that, I was talking about the alternative, grunge, all that shit.
Hey, Lotus, how are you?
Everybody
Your
in the
voice here.
chat, please make sure you are welcoming anyone new coming in. I know we have a few new people from the sectors we're starting to intertwine with. I see Allie, John Caluminati, my guy. Glad you made it. John was like, "Yo, stop going live so early." He said, "I keep
JK.
missing." He said, "I keep missing nostalgic because it comes on too early." I said, "I'm sorry, my brother. I'm sorry." But yeah, we have Allie popping up, and I did see a few others. So just make sure y'all are making them feel welcome. Yeah, I mean, I ain't got to tell y'all. Y'all know how we do here.
Oh yeah, all the names look familiar to me, pretty much.
Yeah, we got a really good group of people here, so I'm pumped
Yeah.
about that.
I was a little taken aback. Coco, is it Coco Pink? You changed your name, it looks like.
Yeah, Coco. Yep.
Okay. Just a little bit. What was it, Sun Dreams or something like that before?
Yeah, I
Good to
think
see
that's what
you.
it
I hadn't
was,
seen
right?
you in a
Coco
while.
Sun
Yeah.
Dreams. I think that's what it was. I think you're right.
I hadn't seen. No, I've just been so busy at work and like during the day, it's like so hard. And trying to keep up with KT's panel
Yeah.
is so hard with all the moving characters. He does such a good job. Where
No, but we were just talking to Mom about that because I said that you hadn't really been on much. But like I said to her, it doesn't take much for a day on here to become a week.
That's what I'm saying. It can be one day, and I think, oh,
Shoot.
okay, I know this. I have no clue, and then he gives them nicknames as opposed to what's in the chat. So
We got we got What's Your Story TV up here, my brother Barn.
Barn Burn. Hey.
Yo, what up, sis?
Such a force
How
of habit. I
you?
still got to catch myself from
What's
saying
going
it to
on,
you.
chat? Salute.
Make sure y'all are subscribing to my brother What's Your Story TV. Link will be in the chat.
Hey, appreciate it. Salute, chat.
What's been going on with you, bud?
Whole lot of work.
I know, me too. That's what I was just saying.
I think that's what everybody. It's like it's been years, but it feels like quarantine is like really over now. You know what I mean? It's like
that. You know what, dude? I was thinking the same exact thing. I was sitting back. KT was replaying something that I was reminiscent about this morning, and I said, between that group of us that was like 2019 to 2022.
Yep.
Will never be it's just crazy. Like 2019 to 2022 seems like it never occurred to me. You know what I mean?
Quick.
Like it
was
went
a quick period.
Yeah, so it was so weird. But I mean, just reminiscing and hearing the different voices was just hilarious.
Yo, what up?
And you're right. It won't ever be the same. Things change. People left. I mean, King Troll's reading the freaking names, and it's like, Dorota Lou we care about. So it's like, I miss Dorota, and then I'm hearing other names. I'm hearing names, and I'm like, wow.
I spoke to her the other day. I think I spoke to her on her birthday. I spoke to her.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, she's cool.
That's good.
Anybody want to reach out to her, just hit her up on Messenger. She'll answer.
On Facebook, right? Yeah. I'm going to have to do that for sure.
If I want to know how she's doing, just hit her up on Facebook. She answers all messages.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I always said it sucked. It sucked that she was sick and had to spend so much time in the hospital. But the silver lining, you know me, I'm always looking for silver linings. She missed a lot of the bullshit. The drama. She's like too pure for her, you know what I mean? Like I would have felt bad if she had to experience some of the fights and things of that nature.
Oh, no, I know. She watched. You don't believe it. She watched a lot of things you don't think she watched. She watched.
That's true. That's true.
She watched. She just don't be in the chat. She be watching.
The all-seeing eye of Dorota.
She's probably watching you right now.
That's true.
Listen, she always supported me. You know what I mean? She always supported all of us. Me, you, and G, and Tommy. It was like that force. She always showed a lot of love for.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in the YouTube streets? I mean, I only can catch every once in a while. Ouch.
You know me. I don't know. I go on whenever I can go on. So I don't really know.
Chooch, it gets like out of control, man. You miss it, like, let's say 2 days, and you come back, you're like, who the fuck are all these people? You don't know any names, or you're like, where's people I know?
Well, you know, I haven't seen KO, I haven't seen Light, I haven't seen like hardly anybody. I was just like, hey, just in case you see me.
Yo, Murph, how long you gonna be on for, Murph?
Till 10.
Till 10.
So like an hour and a half.
So till 10 your time?
Yeah. Another hour and a half.
Because you just came on, right?
Yeah, at 8. Yep.
I hear those kids. I hear those kids.
I was gonna try to stop by, right. I was gonna try to stop back because you know I gotta see what's going on in here. I hear a whole lot of
I hear.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Beer Mirror, man. He's taking over.
Yo,
That's Bruiser. He don't play no shit.
He's my boy. I love him, man. Oh my God, he's so.
It's beautiful. You know, Barn, I wanted to tell you though, bro, what your sister said the other day, man, that shit was so fucking dope.
Oh my God, it had my eyes teared up. I swear, I was like, oh my God.
Barn said, "What you trying to make me cry?" He reminded me of me. I do the same thing when it's emotional. I try to make a joke. But it was like, it was so sweet. It was so sweet what she said.
So sweet, and she is gorgeous. She's just, her personality, I can tell, is just like top tier.
And her giving that love to heaven and shit, that's cool because we don't always see that. You know what I mean? People go, oh my God, Barn, you're doing so amazing. And it's like, you know, we got to give heaven a little bit of credit there as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she keep me together.
I know it. I live with the one that keeps me together, so I know it, my brother. Without them, you know, we fall apart quick.
Yeah, she keeps me sane, man. I don't know what sometimes, man.
I get it. It's got to be a whirlwind, my brother.
Man. If these balls can talk to y'all, boy, I'm trying to tell y'all.
It's got to be a whirlwind, though, bro. To like look back, like even 5 years. If you're like, look where you were 5 years to where you are now, it's got to be a whirlwind. Like, oh my God, look how much progress I've made. My life is completely different. Like
it's so sometimes to be so overwhelming because I'm just starting
to
learn how to live life now. I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
All this shit is new to me. So it's like all I know is weed, dope, coke, pot, and all that shit. Like,
just ripping and running, doing whatever you want. Yep.
Ripping and running and like, just basically just ripping and running and going.
Yeah, now look, you're a family man. You work. You got, you know, a group of little children. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a whole different thing. And it's dope. I've always told you I appreciate watching your journey, and that shit it's inspiring.
Yeah. I got some, whenever I can get a chance, man, I got some shit that I'm working on, but it's like, my timing is so fucked up right now, and it's hard for me
I can imagine.
It's hard for me to like wiggle my way back in the algorithm like that because I can't drop shit constantly like I normally do.
Even on a weekly schedule, even with us on a weekly schedule, it's like we missed 3 weeks. We only needed to miss 1. It was like 1 week. Pam was like, hey, I can't make it. And we were a little busy. We wound up missing 3 because it's like, man, why go do a live when me and Kellz can watch TV together? Or me, Kellz, and Junior can watch TV. I'd rather do that sometimes.
If I can go on, if I can't go on, then...
It's true. It's a vibe, man. The people that can do it like every day and come up with content over and over again. Oh, my God.
I was like on Barnes the other day. Maine behind the bar said that. He goes, I don't know if I'm going to go live. I need that. I got to feel it. And I knew exactly what he meant. Like, if I'm not in that right energy, it's not worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to stop back by, yo.
No doubt, bro. Give our love to the family. You already know.
Yeah. Hugs and kisses to heaven and the kids.
All right, Pam. All right, chat. Smooth chat.
All right.
Make sure y'all subscribing if y'all haven't.
Yeah, definitely. What's Your Story TV, guys? His link is in the chat. Thursday dropped it. Queen Kellz dropped it. Please feel free. That is my brother from another.
Yeah, we might do a little episode this weekend or something on Too Bad Opinions or some shit like that.
Hey, I'm with it. I'll
be there. Just let me know when it's gonna be. I'll be there.
Over there, I'm just saying, enter at your own risk because we.
Like it's a comedy. I'll tell everybody. There's a podcast called Bad Friends. It's 2 comedians. That's kind of the energy the show's going to be. So like, check that out. I mean, you probably seen them before, these guys, but it's that kind of energy. Like
Gladiator School alumni.
Yeah.
KT, you better watch out because
that's my co-host. I've been trolling him all week. He's like, "You ain't my co-host." I'm like, "I'm the best co-host you ever had."
Aren't you his honorary co-host sometimes?
Oh, that's what I was trolling him with. And then he's lying on me, telling
this is a fun
telling
fact.
LaPuffy I was talking about her.
Yo, this is a fun fact, right? Do y'all know that KT, aka 183rd, was my first interview ever on YouTube?
Facts.
I want to say, no, Barn. I remember.
Linda, drive safe, sis.
Barn, this is like how bad it is. This is how far we go back. Remember that guy that you on the bicycle that you pulled into a parking lot? Yes, Tim.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a live stream interview.
Oh yeah. But I remember when you did your first interview with Tim.
Oh yeah. That was Tim was my first. Yeah, I've been trying to find Tim, man. I bumped into him one time. And
did you?
Yeah, I remember you bumped into him after that, and you talked for a few minutes, but that was a while ago.
Real quick short with him, and I was like, "Yo, stay right here, man. I'm gonna come bring you some clothes and stuff like that. Where you gonna be at?" He's like, "I'm gonna be right here," and I never seen him, man.
Wow, prayers up, man. I hope Tim's all right, man. I hope he's,
Maybe he got back. Maybe he's on his feet and he's somewhere, and we just don't know where he is.
Man, God works in mysterious ways. He works.
You got that right.
Nostalgic Breakfast is our Sunday morning music show.
I'm gonna try to stop by again in the car.
Barn, definitely, bro. Appreciate you. You already know. Always welcome.
All right, Barn.
And shout out to the Queen, man.
Hey.
Queen, you here? Oh, you hear me?
Yeah. She here. Her schedule changed, so now she's a full-time co-host.
Oh shit! Oh.
Yes, sir. Watch out now. She's busy getting the request for Nostalgic out the chat, so she's a little quiet tonight.
Oh, okay.
Allie, make sure you come. Make sure you come on Sundays. It's so
Ain't nothing wrong
much
with
fun.
that. We got a motherfucking fucking hot ass heat wave over here.
You'll have to DM.
Lucky you. We don't have no heat. It's fucking weird out here. It's been like 73 for the last 2 days.
Oh boy, it's about to be 104 tomorrow.
Shit,
I had to put a hoodie on to go get cigarettes this morning.
It was close to 100 here today, man.
Really?
Yeah, it's hot as hell.
Now, see, they told us we were going to be getting smoke over the weekend from forest fires, whatever, and we didn't even get that.
You guys are probably going to get it next, though. You probably
yeah, it'll probably come this way fucking next weekend. Yeah.
I mean, didn't California have a earthquake, like a 5.1 earthquake?
Yeah. Sharonda was on live when it happened. She was in a live chat.
That's right. Sharonda is.
Yeah. Me and Sharonda were talking. She was talking about the hurricane or whatever they were dealing with, and she's like, "Oh shit, Murph, we just had a hurricane. I mean, an earthquake rather." I'm like, "What?"
Damn, who else is? Oh, how about Deucey?
Deuce, A-Boy, salute Rosa. We ain't seen Rosa in a bit, but she's a Cali girl.
Damn, Sharonda, wow. Damn.
Allie, if you have Instagram, follow me on Instagram, same name. If not, my email should be on the screen. I'm trying to see.
I drop it in.
Kellz is dropping it all, but right now someone reported us a few weeks ago on the music show, so we have to do it like underground, basically.
Oh, I thought you were getting ready to say somebody reported you again. I was like, what the
hell? No. I mean, honestly, the only thing they could report now is this. And everything's original. The music's all mine. The clips of other shit I show aren't. It's fair use because it's only 2 seconds.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Donnie.
Hey, Donnie.
Yeah, Sharonda, you had me scared that night, girl. She's like, Murph, we just got hit with an earthquake. I'm like, yo, California's gonna break off and sail the fuck away one of these days.
You know what? I just mentioned that to somebody. I said, you know what? With all, you know how they think the government controls the weather anyway? I'm thinking.
Yeah. I love when people don't believe that.
Well, what about all of the fires in Hawaii and none of the megastars' houses were touched?
The thing that bothers me about Hawaii, sis, is if you're looking at the pictures, like cars are burnt to nothing, and trees are still standing. That seems weird to me.
That's because I don't know.
I know. I mean,
Man.
the conspiracy theories get you, of course, and you know.
Yeah, they do, but they sure do, man. And it's
And that's what I tell people when they say, "Oh, they don't manipulate the weather." They've been cloud seeding since the 60s. And guess what? Other countries fully admit to it. Dubai tells you they seed their clouds because it's a desert. They need the rain. So they do it purposely.
Yeah, that's true too.
But I've directed people to the videos and they still tell me it wasn't proof enough. I'm like, bro, where they're testing the rocket boosters for NASA, that smoke makes rain clouds. And they did not believe me. I showed them the video, and you can't convince everybody.
It's like they're like, from what I understand, like somebody was telling me, like Julia Roberts, like Will Smith, like Oprah, like all these different people have these mega mansions over there, and it's crazy how, and then all of the predictions about how all it's going to take is one earthquake strong enough to detach it to go into Pacific Ocean. So don't you think that
because of the fault lines?
Yeah, I mean, what the?
You know what, Pam? There's so much shit that we're unprepared for. How many people know about Yellowstone? People know about Old Faithful, but they don't know that's a super volcano.
I don't know anything about that, but
no one does. We don't talk about it. That's a super volcano. If that volcano erupts, it's a wrap. Like, we're done. Everybody, the whole world.
What?
Yeah, because it's what happens is you have your blast radius, of course, but you also have to remember all that smoke envelops in the atmosphere and blocks out the sun. When it blocks out the sun, Earth starts to chill, and you see an ice age and things of that nature. So that's what they always say with anything like that, even meteors or anything, the fallout sometimes is the worst.
Damn.
Now, see, for me, I'm not trying to scare anybody here by having this talk. These things don't scare me. I have a theory of, not a theory, but I guess you'd say a way of living. If I'm the only one dying, then we have a reason to be scared. But if we're all dying, there's nothing really to be scared of, because being here while they're gone is why we hurt, right? Like, we mourn, you know what I mean? So after that, you're just upset that you're not, you start to be almost selfish in a way of, oh, I didn't get to live my life.
I mean, what would be worse? You know what? My theory on it is this. If something catastrophic is going to happen, I hope it fucking takes me out to where I'm not struggling to survive.
Exactly.
Nothing.
I always said that, like, if they said, oh, a meteor hits Earth next week, you know what my plans are? To make sure my kids are here every fucking day, to get in touch with my mom, my dad, my siblings, all that. Make sure everything's on good terms, even though it means nothing, after, just for the peace of mind.
Yeah,
but at that moment, what's wrong with, if you're religious, sitting with your family and praying? If you're not religious, sitting with your family and reminiscing on memories. That's what you should be doing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if it's catastrophic, I want it to hit me and I want to be out of here. That's it. I don't want to have to deal with searching for my kids.
Exactly my point. And you see it in these disaster movies. Every disaster movie is, I have to go save my kid because they're in New York and I'm in fucking Zimbabwe.
Exactly.
So now I got to track across the freezing world to say, you see that in disaster movies. So it's like, but a lot of this, Salute, great to see you.
Hey,
a lot of this shit is kept from us. If there were a meteor coming to strike, if there were a super volcano getting ready, you're not going to hear nothing about it because of the panic.
Right.
Which you have to pay attention to. So, Chuck, a fault line is underground. You had they're called plates, tectonic plates. And they're constantly moving and shifting. Well, when one goes under the other and causes a fracture, that's when you'll get an earthquake. But fault lines are like where these places meet. You're heavy. The San Andreas fault is what California really deals with the most. They have a few, but that's like a big one right up the middle.
You know what scares the shit out of me is a tsunami, man.
Thursday, I would be afraid to be the last person alive.
Sort of like Will Smith in that movie, whatever it was.
Look how fucked up he was in that movie. He was talking to mannequins.
Yeah.
Tom
It's almost like with
Tom
anything. If
Hanks
I were
talked to his soccer ball.
Yeah, but
if I
that's because they have to
volleyball.
not go crazy.
if I were on a plane that was going down, I would just hope that it would smash into the ground, and I'm not trying
Quick.
to live.
I just let
Yeah.
it be quick.
Just let
I'm
it
the
be
same way.
quick.
Like if I've never flown, unfortunately, but it's like if I do, no, all four of us have to go together. Like if one goes, all go. We can't. Yeah, you're going on a flight by yourself. Like now, the song "Ironic" by
Alanis.
Alanis Morissette. I never got on a plane as an adult because I feel like that verse is dead seriously about me.
Well,
Mr. Play It
there's a lot
Safe
of
was afraid to fly. Packed his suitcase and kissed his kids goodbye. Waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And before the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? I'm like, that would be my fucking
yeah.
luck.
Yeah, that's me. Like I've always said that too, but there are people I know that will, like, it's a family of four, like boy, girl, mom and dad, that
Yep.
like the father and the daughter and the mother and the son take two separate flights just in case something happens.
Yep. Indian families do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never travel together in case something happens. There's always
The
somebody
next of
left.
kin left. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
then
mean, the
you have the
military
survivor's
supposedly
guilt.
has those
Yeah,
laws now.
but it's almost like, I guess when the kids are younger, it's different because they still have a life to live, right? So
Yeah.
so
It's kind of smart though.
yeah, it is actually. It's sort of it really is. But the ones left behind have to learn how to deal with like survivor's guilt,
Survivor's guilt. Yep.
all
Travis
that kind of
Barker
stuff.
deals with that all the time.
Oh my God, I forgot he was in a plane crash.
His cousin died. His cousin died in that accident.
I totally forgot about it until
He got
saw an
burns up his
interview.
legs and shit. Yeah, they Blink 182. It took them forever to travel like outside the U.S., so to speak, because he didn't want to get on a plane.
I'm
But
never.
I had an ex-girlfriend I went out with. She was in a car accident. She was the only survivor. 5 people. She was the only survivor, and that really fucked her up probably for life.
Well, that's
I
almost
mean, she ain't doing bad. She married a millionaire rock star and all that, but that doesn't take away those images in your brain or the PTSD developed or any of that.
Well, that's a lot of people that walk around with all kinds of guilt, especially like people that drink and drive and kill somebody. They were the drunk. They didn't get killed, but they killed a kid or something like that.
With the case, what was that case you were just talking about, babe? The girl.
What?
She was speeding and crashed with the boyfriend or something?
They're saying she did it on purpose. She hit a brick wall going 100 miles an hour or more with her boyfriend and his friend, and she killed the boyfriend and the friend.
Wow.
But she survived.
She survived, yeah. She got 15 years. So how much?
Because she was intoxicated. You can't drive drunk and act like you did it on accident. No, that whole situation is dead ass your fault.
So I assume that's vehicular manslaughter, 15 years.
So she got several counts of several.
But if they're saying she did it intentionally, how's that any kind of manslaughter? Do you know what I'm saying?
I love that song, Lotus.
Because she
Even though
deliberately
it's sad.
set up to those speeds and hit that wall.
Mario.
They're saying she literally deliberately drove into that brick wall.
That's what I'm saying.
Try to scare him.
For sure. No, I totally understand. But then shouldn't it become vehicular homicide?
I think so.
Because listen, if me and you get into a fist fight right now, right, and I beat you to death, I get manslaughter most times, murder too, whatever.
Yeah, but the lawyers are.
But if I premeditate, and I plan it,
because she's
that's
19,
murder. I mean, 15
like
years.
That. So the lawyers probably went to work for her and pulled it from homicide or murder to manslaughter instead.
And that's so crazy. Like with the judgment, the law system and the deals. Like I hate.
Yeah, my child's not here.
I mean, I've been a criminal. I've been a criminal more than I've been a citizen. But I've never liked the deals because it's like, oh, you killed 25 women. Tell us where 26 is, and we'll take a month off. Like, you know what I mean? Or take this deal, rat on all your friends, and you go free. Like these deals get out of control. It's like, do people fully pay their debt to society if you're giving them these insane deals?
You know what I don't get? The people that have the audacity to look shocked when they get their sentence, like, oh, I guess you thought you were going to be the one person to actually walk straight scot-free. Like, nope, no problems at all. Just wash your hands, say you're sorry, and bounce.
I didn't even realize my chat.
You killed 2 people because you were being irresponsible.
I saw a woman getting sentenced, and she was admitting to the judge what she did. She said, "Yes, I punched her in the face. I smashed her in the head. I mean, she killed the woman." Okay. And she said, and it wasn't like a TikTok or something, but she was like, and it was a real story. She was just like, she molested my son and ruined his life. So I killed her. You know, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
Which I totally get, but why would you think that's going to work?
It's
like, you can't do nothing for your
like
child if you're sitting behind bars.
But your child's gone, so what's it matter? Yeah. Oh, no, not gone. I'm thinking of passed away. Not,
well, I mean, there'll never be. Well, no, I mean, it depends. It's every situation.
No, I mean, there's a video you can find on YouTube. It's the guy's walking into the courtroom, and you just see a back on a fucking payphone, and dude turns around, and it's over with. Dude's done. You ain't hurting nobody else ever again.
I mean, then you got fucking people on there that literally.
Some people take vigilante
children to the point of non-existent, and they make a life.
Some people take vigilantism too far, and that's why we can't have it, 1 or 2, commend it, because it's taken too far. Like, you'll have somebody that'll say, hey, the guardian angels were a benefit to New York and Philadelphia. They help protect the neighborhood a little bit, blah, blah, blah. But then you got somebody who thinks he's fucking RoboCop, and he's out there kicking people's doors in and overstepping boundaries. As it was just said in the chat, you know, it's a corrupt system, and it is. Every system. People say, "What do we need to make Kensington better?" And it's like, you can't touch the drug game till you touch corrupt politicians. You can't touch corrupt politicians till everything is so intertwined.
Or maybe a little bit more tacked on because she was 19. Driving intoxicated, so you're not even legal age to buy alcohol, but you're operating a car.
The fact of the matter is, she killed 2 people.
Yeah, and you know, it does bother you though, because what would someone else get?
I don't care if you're upset, you were drunk, you were whatever. Yeah. Those families do not have their loved ones anymore. You need to pay the price. I'm sorry, it's the way it is now. If it were my child and they would have done it, I don't know. I think I have a level enough head to know it was wrong. I mean, I
don't know. For me, it's a tough situation. Now, if it's my kid, I might have to be put away because I'm gonna show you why you fucked up.
Meaning,
if my kid's the killer. Like, now you know better, Mom. I'm beating you to fuck up. Now, if it's my kid that is killed, if it's my kid that's killed, that's a tough one because I'm not real big on the judicial system to say, I'll make sure I'm there every 15 years to make sure you never get out. No, I'm going to make sure you probably don't make it there in the first place because it's my only son.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying.
But I'm a man, and that's different. I understand where you're coming from.
Being dead doesn't give justice. That literally takes the justice away because it's like, okay, but what did they do to pay for that crime? Nothing, because you killed them.
Oh, Chuck, okay, I got you in 1 second. So Uncle Chuck said, finish the theory about Hawaii. So this isn't my theory, everybody. Of course, a few years back, I was a really big conspiracy theorist. I really was. Kellz could tell you, I was down the rabbit hole, as I like to call it. However, I feel like that is a bad place to live. One, you don't believe anything. Yeah, you don't believe anything. Everything's part of it. So it's like I'd rather be blissfully ignorant in a way.
You even watch the sunset.
But so people believe. Some are believe. Vic LFM, my brother, is in the building. That's a great guy right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Vic LFM, I love you, bro.
But people believe it was started by the government. You know, the conspiracy theory is the government did it to push out natives, and the belief is direct energy weapons. Which
that's what people were saying was that it's the only way the government could get the natives' land was by natural disaster. So they set a fire on purpose.
I mean, that's kind of, you always want to try to find the why. And that's what, some conspiracies fall apart quick once you start, okay, but why? And then when you hear this one, you're like, all right, would they do that? Yeah, they've done a lot worse to get people out of their lands, Native Americans, anyone else, you know. Ainge in the building. Salute MWO. Yankees for life, my guy.
But I'm always I'm always on that other side of, there's got to be people within that network of people that know what's going on, and there's always going to be a whistleblower. All these people cannot keep their mouths shut.
If they kill if the threat of your entire family dying, I might be able to keep your mouth shut. It ain't just you; it's everyone.
That's true. I mean, yeah, you're right. You make excellent points.
And that's not even, and that's just the threat on life. Let's say how many people don't need the threat on life, and they take the, you know, the job, the title, the money. You know, listen, you keep your mouth shut on the little secret goings we got, and you'll be taken care of for the next 5 generations. A lot of people are taking that deal. It's signing your soul to the devil, but
it's like Scientology and like all of that other shit. Like, with how come all of the elite? Question yourself: why are it's mostly elite are always involved in this shit?
Exactly. Somehow, like, it's always got to be
something. You'll
find out, like, the cleanup is like federal, or it's like, Jesus Christ. There's always a tie, you know. And you can't, I always say that you can't expect a lot of people to not be, quote, crazy conspiracy theorists, because we're given so much to not believe. We've been told of things that were proven to be, you know, the Battle of the Bulge, I think it's the Battle of the Bulge, but with JFK, what was that? Tank, what was that?
It was, shit.
I can't remember the fucking name of it, but anyway. Something happened down with Cuba, somewhere around that area. But the Bay of Pigs. Oh
shit, I couldn't remember it.
That was proven years later to be propaganda, conspiracy. Like, it came out. We don't find these things out till 25 years later when they're declassified. You know, we're not looking at it. We're not looking at it with the God's eye view, so to speak. We're looking at it right now in the moment. I mean, you got to ask yourself a question. JFK died 70 years ago now, almost. It's coming up on. Not 70, it's 60, but we're talking 60 years. Why every time it comes up are certain things still not being shared through the Information Act, Freedom of Information Act? Other things come out that it's like, okay, we're releasing 1,200 pages. You go through them, half it's fucking redacted. You can't, do you know what I'm saying? So it's almost pointless in that way. It's like, why did we have to wait so long?
Well, yeah, I agree totally, and it's like the power of the people. If they don't think we're as woke as we are, you know what I mean? So it's when they say, "Oh, they push it off as a conspiracy theory." That's
all they got to say, right? That's all you got to say nowadays, and that means what's that mean nowadays? That means you got a fucking foil hat on. You think the president's a lizard? Like, no, we can believe that you had some kind of interference in big events or had previous knowledge and didn't act upon it. Like, that's not hard for people to wrap their fucking minds around. Well, it's not hard to go, hey, they knew about Pearl Harbor and did nothing because they wanted to go to war. It's not hard to wrap your mind around that, because we've seen how fucking power hungry and bloodlust they get for war, because it brings money in.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're exactly right.
They've been trying to get this country, America, they've been trying to get us back to what we did in World War II since. Because you got to remember, during World War II, capitalism took off. We had women working for the first time. The war effort was huge. Pittsburgh put its name on the map through steel. Philadelphia was putting its name on that. All these places. And then it kind of fell off because war changed. Every war we've had has changed. World War I was the first flying. And then by World War II, we were in fucking jets.
Lotus, yeah, nothing. They're not going to tell me and bro here that we have a tinfoil hat and the presidential lizard. We're not falling for that shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You have to be able to tell people that. Like, I can have a disbelief in this, and this without being some fucking, they're turning the frickin' frogs gay. You know, like, no, it ain't all that, bro. But I do believe, like, sometimes I do fall in those pitfalls. Why is there fluoride in our water? I don't need the government to worry about my family's dental care. I don't need you to put something in the water to take care of my teeth. That's not your job. You know, so when I'm very libertarian in that way. Like, I know what the Constitution says. As long as you live your life in them parameters, you should be, allowed to live within a level of freedom without being bothered. I don't commit crime, so I shouldn't have to interact with police.
Are you
It's
there?
just, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's you're talking 50 plus years of bullshit, of the scam, so to speak. They're in this motherfucker like it's nothing. Generations are coming up in it like it's nothing.
When you start talking about police, you have to understand there are some people like certain citizens that are going to obey laws, are going to treat people kindly, are not going to steal, are going to work for their keep. If you regard police in a way that the criminal, they'll take advantage of that opportunity and make it worse, and that means more crimes on innocent people because.
All right, Pop. You're breaking up a little bit, Pammy. I don't know if it's me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. But people are just dumb. I'll start with that as my opening statement. But how can we be so close-minded to think all cops are good, all cops are bad? Is everybody at McDonald's good or bad, or is there some scumbag that spits on people's burgers?
You're right. We had this discussion before.
You got the person at Burger King that goes above and beyond for your experience. Oh, make sure you get a crown for the kid. Oh, you forgot, boom, 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 making sure their store is clean. And then you got a scumbag in the back that hates the world that's spitting on people's burgers. Now, if it's that low, why wouldn't that be the same across the workforce? You're going to have good cops and bad cops, good firemen and bad firemen, good mechanics and bad mechanics, good drug dealers and bad drug dealers. It goes across the board.
It's the fundamentals of, and you treat people, it's mostly you treat people how you want to be treated, and it's all elementary, fundamental 10 commandment stuff, okay? There's some people that do not have that in them at all.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. That is one of my favorite quotes for that reason.
Yeah.
Because you can't rationalize with everyone. Have you ever tried to rationalize with someone that may be mentally challenged or even angry? Not even mentally challenged, just fucking mad. Have you ever tried to rationalize with someone on Xanax that's mad? It's fucking angering. Because you expect to be able to reason with people. I expect to go, Pamela, if you run outside naked, you'll get locked up. And her go, well, you're right. I shouldn't do that. That's what you expect people to do. When I say that to someone and they're like, woo, get out of my way. You're like, oh, fuck, I can't help you.
Well, my daughter just came home from work and she had to run past the dollar store to pick up some stuff for her class. And she said, Mom, there were some people obviously on drugs. And she said they were women in their late 40s, early 50s, they looked like. She said, like your age, Mom. I'm like, oh, okay, well, thanks, great. Anyway,
I'll tell you, I've seen some old addicts in my day. I knew 70-year-old heroin addicts, crackheads, and it's just crazy.
She said you could tell they were on, it was crack or whatever. So she said they came in there brazenly in front of everybody, did not give zero fucks, started putting shit in backpacks, and then just walked straight past the cashier. She said everybody in the store was just watching them.
But you got every news channel going, oh, look at these people stealing and no one's doing nothing. And so now everybody thinks it's okay to steal. People are getting out of control. You see it. Kids are now going to concerts and robbing the merch booth. Like you paid for his ticket, but you're stealing his shirt. That makes no fucking sense. The thing about it is that
me, the person that's working that t-shirt booth, is not going to fight with anybody that's on drugs over a $25 t-shirt. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it.
Appreciate you, Allie. Thanks for coming. Yeah, and boy, 100%. It is everywhere, and it's got to come to a breaking point. There's going to be some kind of smart versus dumb or crazy versus normal civil war or something, because it's got to come to a breaking point. There's too many people on different sides of that. There's some people that are like, fuck it, I ain't got nothing. Who am I hurting by stealing? And there's other people that are trying to live what they expect society to be.
The government's already upping everything and making money off of increasing the cost of goods, and you wonder why the companies are being, the theft is out of control, so all these companies are having to increase their prices to make up for the deficit of all the stolen goods.
Have you seen these stores nowadays? You can't grab anything that's not behind glass. And we can't even solve the problems because there's so much division in this country now. Every time you start to break down the problem, people start to go to race shit. And it's like, no, can't we just say, hey, this is happening in areas and we need to fix it and find out why, and let's not blame people. Let's help people. That's the fucking problem. You did this. It's your fault. It's your side. What the fuck does that do for anybody? No, please come in and let us show you why you should take pride in your community. People used to take pride in their community, and we had this, and this. But you can't expect your community as well to do this, and this when the government's taking every fucking thing away. Your towns don't have after-school programs. Your towns barely have libraries. Like, what are these kids supposed to do? That's what I tell people all the time. Oh, these kids are out of control. They're on the streets all hours of the night. What are they supposed to do? Any other time, it's all they do is sit home and play video games and don't contribute. Make up your mind. These kids need something. We were kids. We had sports. We had, like I said, after-school programs. You had a cop in your neighborhood who gave a fuck. You had a priest in your neighborhood who gave a fuck. You can't trust none of that shit nowadays.
No, you can't. You can't blame it on the kids. When
people are so tarnished from the police force and the Catholic Church. Who wants to let their kid go to either of those?
Well, there's also a topic going on in the chat, and it's one that was also very, very sad.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw a headline about some lady in the UK, I think, like killing 7 infants or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
In a hospital.
Well, why don't we, Pammy, why don't we reset real quick, and when we come back from that, we'll get into that topic that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, do that.
Because like as I always say, I know it's a sensitive subject, ladies and gentlemen, but our tagline, we talk about the shit no one else wants to. Critical thinking and common fucking sense, as rare as that is anymore. So I think we should have these conversations where we could all respect each other and come with some, good opinions and stuff like that. So we're going to reset, y'all. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. We will be back in 30 seconds. We'll give it 30.
Awesome.
Appreciate y'all. This is, I'm going to give y'all some more coming music here. This is In Orbit, DirtyKenzoproductions. I think I'm having technical difficulties. Hang in there.
Can anybody hear me? Excuse me. You can hear me, Lotus? Oh, okay, good. No, I'm reading the comments. I believe it too. Like the way the mother acted with that. Was she 19?
Y'all
or
hear
whatever?
music still, or is it just me?
No, I don't hear any music.
I'm still hearing the fucking song playing over here.
I'm in over here coughing, hacking on this vape and shit, and I'm like, I wonder if they can even hear me.
That's cool. Yeah, I just turned the volume all the way off, and it's still playing over here.
Okay.
What the fuck? This thing's on drugs.
Lotus, it's a good thing I didn't do anything else.
All right, I mean, if y'all can't hear it, I can work through it. I don't care. Maybe it'll stop after. Kenzo, Kenny, appreciate you.
No, but I don't know, man. When I saw that whole thing with that girl.
Oh, what a fucking mess.
That shit was crazy.
It's a mess.
I don't care what nobody says. That girl, first of all, you've seen pictures of her in her cheer outfit and like normal clothes, and there was a clearly defined bump. You're not going to lie. That's one.
It's hard to prove lying.
It's hard to prove. You could see it clearly from the picture. If we can see it, how the fuck didn't you? You're walking around with it.
When I was 6 weeks pregnant, my aunties looked at me and said, "You're knocked up. I can tell."
I had a bump by 3 months.
Like I said,
I was so tiny.
I don't want to blame this girl. She's a young kid. She had every reason to be afraid.
It's one thing to be scared, but it's another to be scared to the point that you literally are in the safest place to have a child and or leave it if you don't want to be part of it, and then still do what you did.
That's what I'm going to say. I wouldn't shame this. I'm not going to shame the girl at all, but I'm going to say everything up until the point before the hospital, I can understand. She's young. She never had a kid. How the fuck would she know what pregnant feels? She might think whatever. But once you got your ass in that fucking hospital and you decided to take it to that next step,
she told the nurse
to the point where your mom said, I asked if you were pregnant.
She never had sex before in her life, is what she told them.
I agree with Lotus.
I just got my period. No, I can't be pregnant. I never even had sex.
Mental illness. I think that, she had her wits about herself to clean up the blood and shit in the bathroom.
And not even all the way. You know why there was blood everywhere, Pammy?
Why?
Because she hacked the placenta up to flush it. Where's the placenta? You found the baby in the trash. There's blood all over. Okay, where's the placenta that comes out after you have the baby?
Wasn't it when the chick that went in, the lady that went in there to clean the bathroom lifted the trash can? She felt it was heavy. She looked in it.
She went in to see it because of all the blood. The nurses called her and said that it was like a bloodbath in there, and the trash looked empty because what she did was she took the baby, wrapped them in a liner.
We know this is a very insensitive topic, ladies and gentlemen. We do apologize. Trigger warning for anyone that needs it.
Right, yeah.
Me and Kellz had we had lost one between our children. No fault of our own. It was stillbirth, not stillbirth because we didn't miscarriage. So we do take this very seriously. I just didn't want anyone to think we're here being insensitive. Our heart goes out to the family because they're really fucked in all this. You're losing your daughter and you lost a grandchild. You know what I mean?
That's true. So you never really think about it like that.
You never think about it like this. If this girl goes away for 20 years, you just lost your daughter too.
You can be like the best freaking parent in the world and some shit like this happened to you.
And not only that,
of course,
they lost a grandchild that honestly only the stepfather cried about. Only the stepfather got upset over the baby at all.
Yeah, but the
way the mother was acting just was so weird to me. Like
I felt like she was acting like a mother who's spoiled.
Now hold on a second.
I think she had a disconnect. She acted like it was like another day in paradise somewhere.
I felt like she was showing more of the how she probably raised this young lady. I'm assuming here, guys, naturally assuming,
assumptions.
But it seemed like she's spoiled because to me,
she got out of jail, went to her prom like nothing happened.
But to me, the reason I'll say she's spoiled is number one, when the nurse came in and gave the mother the news, the reaction was, "I asked you, why didn't you tell me?" That's the giving your kid way too much rope tone.
No, I think that
They
maybe
came in and said, "Hey, Mister, I'm not going to dox myself
Yeah,
anymore.
but I'm sorry.
Mr. Kenzo, your daughter was in this bathroom, and here's the situation." I'm not going, "I just asked you." I'm fucking like, lock me up. Lock me up.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the thing is, you know
Not
what?
only that, but because of the lengths that she went to hide what she did.
She could have grown up in that household with the mother saying to her her entire childhood, "If you ever come home pregnant, I will fucking kill you."
No, she probably told her life was over. She was in all kind of cheer camps her whole life. She went to did pianos and this sport, that sport. So she was always on the go from how it sounded. And she always had like a problem where her legs were messed up from her hips. So she had pain there all the time. But when it got too much for her, she waited 2 days before she actually told them how much pain she was in and went to the hospital. And she was already in active labor at that point. You can't stop it.
Like I said,
breaks your screw.
For just me, in my opinion, it's like I could let go everything up to the hospital. It's like when you're in the hospital already, your mom's sitting there saying, "Are you fucking?"
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro.
Like,
you're right.
The mom's going, "Kid, we're here. Are you fucking pregnant? Tell me." And the kid tells you no. And then, God, your fucking heart falls to your fucking feet when the nurse comes in and goes, "She was pregnant." And instead of,
did you see the look on the mom's face when the mom said, "How old was the baby?" And the nurse said, "He was full term."
Full term.
She was like, "Are you serious?" That's when she turned to her.
Yeah,
She's like, "Are you serious?"
But because
9 months.
But that's because she had been told that you were a virgin.
But at the same token, you know what? I just went a little bit. I freaking went off on the mother a little bit, and I shouldn't have used the K word. I'm sorry. She was probably maybe threatened her entire childhood.
Yeah,
don't you ever do that? Okay.
The threat. The
threat of it, as opposed to a parent that's like, "You know what? I don't want this happening to you, but you can come to me about anything."
Yeah,
some kids don't have that, or the
public perceptions, and we're the happy, smiling, fucking middle America family. We're perfect, and it's hard to keep you. Like you said, she was involved in sports and extracurricular activities. Do we know for a fact this girl wanted to be involved, or was she the type you see all the time where your parents pressure you into doing it? "Oh, I was in ballet, you're in ballet," or gymnastics, you're in gymnastics. "I was in football, you know what I mean?" There's so much details missing.
I have a daughter that's her size, okay? Katie's her size. Now you cannot fucking tell me, and I'm sorry, that she's coming home and you don't freaking notice something is not right. You can't tell me
your daughter's ass that you're involved in every aspect of her life, but you don't know that. The most important thing, you don't notice the changes in your daughter.
It might not even be mental illness.
I get that, but if Katie's belly started swelling out of nowhere, and we keep asking her, we're eventually going to know she's lying.
No, but like I say, I can't shame anything other than the piss poor decision made at the hospital.
Yeah, but there was piss poor decisions before the hospital trip.
Of course,
altogether.
Of course, but I'm just saying is,
she had her chance to come clean there, and she clearly did not take it.
Up until if she walks,
I would rather got my ass whooped than
for sure. Follow me on a hypothetical here. She goes to the bathroom, baby's comes. That's what the story is, right? "Oh my God, baby's here! I didn't expect it."
No, actually, what happened was
she was in there 20 minutes. Why didn't somebody check on her?
Lock the door so nobody could get in, not even her mom.
But that's what I'm saying. Baby's coming in the bathroom, right? Here's the baby. "I just had a fucking baby. Hey, see this baby?"
Oh, the baby came out. She panicked. I get that part, but what you did after that, that's what I don't understand. You could have handed that baby over and said, "I don't want nothing to do with it. I didn't know I was pregnant. I'm scared to death." It's obvious, by your reaction.
That's where I'm at with it.
But the way you wrap that baby up, put shit over it, then put it at the bottom, and then just walked out the bathroom like shit was sweet. Like, nah, bro, you took time to think about how you were going to try to hide that. Then they found
There's a definite
I think sometimes we have to look at it too, is that she was either traumatized or in some type of She was
what do they
walking
call it?
outside. What do they call it? Trance.
Fugue state.
She was in like a shocked trance
Yeah,
state.
yeah, they call it a
thinking,
fugue state almost.
Now, honestly, I felt for the girl up into the point where I saw her pictures. Once they started flashing her pictures, like right before she went and this all happened, like in the cheer and doing normal stuff and stuff like that. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, there's no way you see a mound like this and you do not know that a previously petite girl, kind of like my build, a little bit younger, that's what, a food baby?
I mean,
absolutely the fuck not. We're getting that check because something's not right or you're lying to
I mean, there's definitely something, but
wouldn't people at school or was her mother? I mean,
yeah,
somebody had to notice.
She named the baby. She
can't,
she knew.
You cannot tell me hundreds of people that interacted with this kid, a teacher or something, did not freaking notice it. You can't tell me that.
And many friends of hers or acquaintances that she had at school since this has come out and said she knew she was pregnant. We knew she was pregnant and the teachers knew.
But at the end of the day, isn't it more for her mother to know she's pregnant than her? You know what I mean?
Honestly,
some mothers are distant. Some mothers are distant.
At the same point, I believe I taught my child enough to know that if she thought she was in some kind of situation,
Latina.
she can't come to me, that you would recognize certain signs to go to someone to be able to say, look, I think something's happened here and I need to be checked out or whatever have you. She just went about her.
I agree. Where was the awareness? Like I said, there has to be a detachment.
And you have an active boyfriend. You're obviously actively sleeping with them.
I was going to say, did the boy even know she was pregnant?
They're claiming that nobody knew, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out as the trial comes along of who really knew what. And all,
I feel bad for him in a way.
And I feel bad for him too.
I feel bad because I know how people act nowadays online. And once that goes, this kid's going to be guilty and he didn't even do anything. Wasn't even at the fucking hospital.
No, he wasn't nowhere around when any of this happened. He was in the waiting room when they came and like when they were waiting for her and she was getting checked and stuff.
Cancel culture always wants a villain.
And they wanted to know the mom or the dad of the trial and stuff like that. So he was named for that. And his mom was there in the waiting room too.
Kenny, you're exactly right.
Kenny, that's a fact. The mom was playing dumb. That's a fact. Even when they came to the house, hey, we're locking her up.
Good night,
what?
GMA.
Yeah. Then it was
GMA, good night, darling.
Good night. For tampering with evidence at the hospital.
Yeah, that's
where the crime took place. That is where she messed with the evidence. What is so fucking
I was never angry with the mom until then. Because it's like that. I don't like dumb questions.
I was, because the second she said, I told you that, so we just talked about this, and then she's looking at her and I'm looking, and then I saw the pictures after and stuff. I'm like, there's no way you didn't know. I don't care if you're the
Did she live with her mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing.
Mom, stepdad.
She's 19 years old. She's still in school, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know about you, but I have a daughter. She was in school. I bought her tampons, her pads, okay? She didn't have these for months and months. If I even approached her and said to her, Kelsey, or you haven't, is your period okay?
Appreciate you.
Is everything going on? What's going on? And if she said, no, everything's fine, I'm the type of mother, I'd reach for that damn shirt, I would yank it up, and I would look my damn self. I'm sorry. That's just the way I am.
And that's how my mom is, too.
I'm sorry. People might say, oh, you're invading her privacy. No, I'm not. You see what happens when you don't?
Yeah, stuff like this happens when
and then they want to say to the parents, how do you do
I'm wondering what the level of awareness was by the entire family. Like, I don't understand how your brain goes there. Oh my God, the baby came, and you're like, let me get rid of it, and you like throw it in the trash can and act like I'm going to be able to walk out of the hospital. I don't.
Yeah.
Where's the rationale?
Like you was just going to go home, and your life was just going to go right.
But the rationale, but us saying where's the rationale there, that worries me that they're going to try to pull insanity. They're going to try to say she was temporarily insane.
Yeah, but they kind of can't. Because at the same time, like we said, there was a manner of forethought in hiding and trying to get rid of the evidence. There was a matter of you knew and you ran to the bathroom holding your butt because you didn't supposedly know what was going on, and locked everybody out of the bathroom to where it was about 10-15 minutes. They stood there banging on that. It wasn't until they threatened to unlock the door and come in on their own that she finally opened the door and then just walked out like it was a normal day.
Case Brooklyn, appreciate you.
Yeah, I don't think any of us will ever know, obviously.
Chuck, that's what I was asking her. I was trying to ask Kellz and Pam, their mothers. Doesn't that mother's intuition, like you're like,
Yes.
you're sitting there, you're looking at your daughter,
Kellz
right?
like me,
You're staring at her, Pam, and you're like, is this bitch's hair getting shinier? Like, you know what I mean?
That's what I told
like,
you.
She got a nice little healthy glow about
Why
it.
she glowing? Why are you glowing?
Why you glowing?
You getting fat and you glowing?
That's what I'm telling you.
To our daughter.
That's what my family members, they would look at me and say, every time I was pregnant, they'd say, are you knocked up again? You're like,
yeah.
Yes, Dawn, in the hospital. Already in the hospital, already expected. That's they suspect
absolutely.
That's the reason we're at the hospital. You had stomach cramps. The mom's like, are you pregnant?
Because she was having very bad back pain or pain in her legs and her back. So she finally went to the hospital after like 2 days of keeping it from the mom or just mentioning it. The boyfriend talked her into going and getting it checked or whatever. And then she finally went, she couldn't take it. And she told the hospital that she was on her period and that she never had sex before, so she couldn't be pregnant. Well, they did a test anyway, because I mean, it's obby.
They're gonna.
They had to. So they blood tested her. And by the time they got the result back, she was already in there having the baby and did what she did. And yes, she was at a safe haven hospital, so she could have just handed the baby
I think all hospitals are safe havens.
I was just going to say the same thing. I mean, how far do we have to go? I mean,
you can either do it in the hospital,
that's a great point,
or a fire
this shit was
like how far do we gotta hold your fucking hand to get rid of your responsibility?
You could go into the hospital around here right now. What's it in the middle of the floor when you open them doors? So that's a net. And
you
a bell. You take you ring the bell, and you walk the fuck out. That's what you do.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if we don't do something to punish those that don't do what they're supposed to do, all these other kids are going to think it's okay to do it. They're that naive to think.
And I hate a tragic lesson. But we need these tragic lessons. Something like this makes everybody here, us three, everybody in this chat, it makes us pull our daughters to the side and say, never be that fucking scared.
Exactly.
But you know what I mean? That's all you can do in these. When you hear of a mass shooting, you pull your kids in. Make sure you know how to get out of school. Make sure you're not picking on. Like, it's the world we live in. But I don't think this lesson, I don't think this is a lesson I thought we would have to teach them.
Honestly, in my opinion, I don't honestly think she learned a lesson.
Not yet. She will.
She will.
And Penny, no, they didn't arrest her for a few days after. There's video footage of them going to the house to arrest her.
No, I think
they
he's saying they're investigating the mom now.
They're gonna have to because she lives in her household, first of all, and her mom was with her.
True.
That's number one. Number two, they did let her out when she was locked up. They let her out within no restrictions. So like she got out of jail and then she went like to her prom and shit like that. Like everything was.
This is a prime example.
More of the police force letting middle class people get away with it.
And then they came back when the investigation shit started. And
would a poor kid be able to go to their prom?
Oh no,
they would have never got out.
He wasn't getting out. Yeah.
No, the thing about it is that also if they put everybody in jail that did stuff like this, we the taxpayers would be. I mean, we can't afford to do it, so they have to pick and choose. And unfortunately,
we don't have enough room
it's the rich that can get away with it. The middle class gets fucked because we can't really afford it, but we'll.
The middle class is the one who pays for it.
And if I'm not mistaken, this happened in New Mexico.
That's how the system works. If you're low, if you're in the low class, you're usually the one in the jail. If you're in the middle class, you're the one paying for the jail. And if you're in the high class, you're the one benefiting from it.
1 second. Coco, no, it was determined that there was lungs in the air in the baby's lungs.
Yes, it was when they did the autopsy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're saying
it was strangulation.
They're saying basically from being put in the can.
No, they're saying the baby took breath, so she's lying when she said it did not cry. Nothing cried.
What I'm saying is what I heard is they're saying the bag suffocated the baby.
Oh yeah, finished it. Yeah,
Yes.
what she didn't do.
The baby was. That makes it even fucking worse. It's like I can't
see if it was a stillborn.
I can't understand it.
Girl.
But if it was stillborn, I'd say you panicked. You had a God forbid you had a half baby come out. You panicked. What? But this baby was alive. Like.
Well, you know when babies are born and they first
But when
come
babies
out,
are born, they don't look alive either.
They don't.
It takes them a while because they've been in the amniotic fluid for so long,
But this is
inhaling
why
the
you're supposed to
fluid.
be around professionals that can help you through something like this. So
Some of them, you
will-
have to beat their back like for a good minute or so.
Oh yeah, no,
sometimes.
they don't. Listen, when a baby comes out, they don't look alive. They're blue.
No. And my son didn't cry.
But
He was
it's
looking
so
around
crazy.
the room like, "What's up, people?"
The change is
I know.
the change of color in your child is something only a parent gets to experience. To watch your baby go from
Looks like it's purple,
not moving, little alien, all of a sudden
That's
they like
why I know. That's
tickle
why.
their foot or smack the ass. The baby goes wham, and all of a sudden
They
boom.
pinch their foot.
Pigment.
That's
You're like,
why.
holy
That's
shit.
why when people say, "Oh, he's too light," or "He's too this," or whatever, I'm thinking you've been in water, no sun, no anything for X amount of months. What color do you think you're going to come out? You know what I mean? Like
I'm going to read Coco's comment. I don't want to put it up, but I'll.
And she's right.
Out of respect for Coco, I'd rather ask her before I put it up, but I'll just, I'll read it aloud.
Put the other
She said, I had many friends who were pregnant and using, and they would not go to the doctor because they were afraid of getting caught or getting in trouble.
And
So
it's very true.
this young lady,
It's
of
true.
course, Coco's just bringing up an example, ladies and gentlemen. That isn't part of this case, of course, but she does bring up a very great example of some other women may have been in this position before in their lives over what Coco's speaking on there. That fact, that fear of getting caught would lead them to be so irrational.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like,
Thursday, you ain't ever lied. Best cry in the world.
Yes.
And
oh my God.
honestly, Coco, that could land her in more trouble because of her not wanting to tell anybody about her being pregnant. She probably did not get prenatal care, and that is neglect. You cannot get any kind of prenatal care throughout your entire 9 months and not get
outside of
now.
religious reasons and shit.
Yeah, and she did it because
Hi, RU is in the building. Congrats to Jersey on a 500,000 view video.
I can't believe that. I can believe
Proud
it,
of you,
but
girl.
that's
Keep kicking
freaking
ass.
awesome.
Oh yeah, big numbers, big numbers.
But the thing about it is, she had the baby. She smothered it under the They proved that the baby did take breath outside.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, she had to have been out of her mind. That's I mean, she was scared, petrified, scared to death. That's the only thing I can think of that would make her do it.
Yeah. What bothers me is the disparity in justice. Because if this person looked a little different, this may be a different case. You know what I mean? And it has been in the past. And that's the shit that bothers me. I don't like affluent being used as an excuse. A guy a few years back assaulted a woman, and instead of going to jail, the judge said, "Oh, he's too rich. It'll ruin his life." It's like, you motherfuckers have been ruining people's lives for hundreds of years.
Is she affluent?
It seems it. It seems it.
That way,
it seems like they're bougie. If not loaded, they're bougie.
Probably middle class.
Yeah, suburbs.
Bougie,
suburbs, middle class, cheerleader.
Middle class, but they think they're bougie.
Perfect family, type shit. But
the thing about it is, if you really think about it, sometimes it's the lower income families that are closer and the parents pay closer attention than even the rich ones, if you want to put it in that
for sure. No, for sure. I 100% agree.
Because you got those aunties that are like, bitch, you're not lying to me. I know you done something.
Yep. And I got 5 of them, so they're definitely
I wonder where the mom's at. To think your 19-year-old a virgin. I mean, maybe
there's I know there's I mean, I don't know, man.
It's one thing if you want to keep the lie up with your mom, but you could have thrown your mom out of the room and said, "I need to talk to them alone."
They allow it.
Have that
right. They allow it.
Because if you remember in the video footage, they went to get her permission to transfer her to another medical place to make sure everything was good there because she was their priority at that point.
Did she finally give up in the hospital
that
that she did?
didn't need mom's permission.
Oh, okay.
Because mom tried saying, but she's still a student. They said it doesn't matter. She's 19 years old.
Yeah,
she can sign for herself. We don't need your permission for anything.
Fear a lot of time overrides common sense. That's what I'm thinking a lot, Coco, too.
Honda, baby.
Like I said, I think we need to take the lessons out of it, though. And like,
it's just sad
at least it's sad that a child had to lose its life over such foolishness. Yeah. And it's, you know, and like I said, I hate tragic lessons. But if we could take a lesson from it to make sure we talk to our daughters to say, never be that scared. Never, you know what I mean? If I make you that fucking scared, let me know.
It's something that definitely could have been prevented.
But I do agree with Kellz in the sense, hospitals nowadays, they push. Do I got to put this other person out the room? It's not even a fucking option anymore.
You couldn't even tell them why you were in.
I had brought Kellz to the hospital for a fucking reaction to medication. They said, what are we here for? The second I tried talking, he threw me out the room.
Yep.
I said, I brought her here. She's having a reaction. He said, get out of the room.
And I was out of my mind. I don't even know why I was
I'm talking about how many years ago was this?
Oh, that was
asking.
12, 10, 12,
yeah,
13.
I have never had that happen to me ever. So,
but no, like a lot of times nowadays, they'll ask you in the hospital, is anyone hurting you, making you do something against your will? That's like in their repertoire now. Mm-hmm. They'll say, hey, do you want hubby to leave the room and just talk to us? So the young lady, and even if you ran to the bathroom, pop your head out the door. Excuse me, nurse.
There is a nurse.
Unfortunately,
hanging right there in every bathroom. That's another thing that we're saying. There's a nurse's button. The nurses could have came right in to you. Your mom didn't have to be able to do shit. She was in the hall. Yeah. You have no excuse.
And I understand fear, but at what point does common sense not kick in and go, my mom can't kill me in the fucking hospital?
It's quite obvious.
You know what I mean? Like, my mom can't ground me if we're in the hospital.
Yeah. But you're going to have to wait till we go home before you do anything. Exactly. And now it's on documentation, so they're going to come back to ask questions. And it's got to leave me alive.
The biggest tragedy here is how us parents who were so scared when we were 19 having children, we were there. How scared we were, and then to look back and be like, it all worked out. You know what I mean? It's like, that makes this even more tragic that we know from experience that it didn't have to go down like that.
It really didn't. No.
You ruined your life.
The bottom line, the bottom line is this is a very, no matter how the cards play out. No matter how the cards play out, this is a very, very tragic story.
Exactly.
We cannot walk in other people's shoes. We don't know what's going on in their minds. We don't know what happened. Yeah. The punishment that she's going to get, she may not ever feel that remorse. We feel it probably. Some people that do shit like this, we feel the remorse more than they do. And we didn't even do it because they don't feel it. There's all kinds of different situations.
To everybody eventually, because I mean, even Casey Anthony sounded more regretful in the last 2 years than she did in the 10 before it.
I'm sorry, but she's still.
Woo! Who cares?
Right, no, I'm not saying she doesn't, but I'm saying she sounds more regretful now than she ever did. Like it's coming around.
Yeah,
like
because she was getting
you should have a fucking 17-year-old. You like, and look what you know what I mean. Shit like that.
That girl still takes no accountability for anything she did. She's still trying
this young lady has to live with this for her entire life, and I wouldn't wish that really on anybody. Like, especially she's going to hear things if and when she goes away.
But you know what? It's also part of when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So you're going to have to deal with the fallout of your foolish decision for the rest of your life, and you blocked that.
And that's when it starts to get to a level of how much influence did mom and dad have.
Well, here's the bottom line.
You know what I'm saying? What she taught?
She's known in the media.
She's known. Had mom removed from the room and said, "Look, I'm definitely afraid. Whatever have you, can you just get the baby out of me? I don't want nothing to do with it." And they have no choice but to keep her confidence.
The bottom line is she's known in the media now. She will not be able to walk the face of this earth without being attacked by somebody.
Verbally, verbally.
Verbally, I mean, she's gonna. You saw how they did Casey Anthony.
She got arrested. Yeah. Is there any way you can?
She'll have to go in.
Find out what they think she did.
Mm-hmm.
So they're right to the court.
she'll have to go in hiding. You know, her life is basically fucked for the rest. I mean, whatever, but it's,
for lack of a better term,
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. So it's almost like,
what not even out of high school yet.
One careless decision, man. It's all it takes.
One careless decision. Now, do we say, honestly, was it mental health? Was it stupidity?
Well, yeah, it was a few. It was a few care. Obviously, the sex the first time.
I'm going to recklessly think, I won't tell my mom about this major thing happening to me. I won't tell hospital officials that can potentially save my life should something happen.
When Kellz was pregnant with Junior, she was scared to tell her mom, but
I was.
This would have never been a thought.
It would have never got that far at all.
That's the thing.
No reason.
The people like us, the people that sit back and say, this is astonishing, I could never do this, just make it even more evident of the mental health issues that are going on in this country.
They're out of control.
Are out of control because...
And they're highlighted as well. And it's coming to a point where we're like, not that we should be shaming them, but we're glorifying them.
We're normalizing.
It's like, you don't have depression? What a loser. And it's like, wait, what? Like, depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain. I live with it every day of my fucking life. Like, it's not a good thing. I don't want to be bipolar. What, are you stupid? Like, so people like acting like it. But nowadays we live in a day and age where it's like, if I were to come online and say I was, I'm trying to think of exactly how I want to put this. But if I came on and said I was a bipolar trans person, there's clout behind that nowadays. Just because of those two categories. It's like, it shouldn't be trendy. People's, sexuality, or even for trans, their sense of being, that shouldn't be a trend. Neither should, mental illness and things that, people who have them don't want.
Well, I mean, being heterosexual, I don't go out and say, hey, I have sex with men. That's all I have sex with. Yeah. That's it. I mean, I'm not putting that in people's face. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah. I don't care. Just don't put it in my face. I don't need to hear about it.
I tell people that, like, oh, you don't want your son being gay and kissing it. I don't want my straight kids making out in front of me. Like, it's improper behavior.
Well,
that's bedroom behavior. You make out in your bedroom, not in front of your parents.
Yeah. The father of this baby that was,
I believe he's a young man as well. Yeah.
Now, if he knew about it and had some say so in it, and didn't know maybe if his parents had been involved and his parents knew, maybe they could have banded together and said, hey, I know, maybe you don't want to keep the baby. You never know.
It happens all the time. How many fucking girls move in with their baby dad because mom threw them out? It happens every day.
I can't confirm this, but I have the sneaking suspicion it was her idea to say, I'm not telling anyone. If she even told the guy, she might not even told dude.
That's what I'm saying.
How are you supposed to know?
Perception is everything. If this girl don't think she's fucking pregnant, she wasn't pregnant. But she was, I totally was. She obviously had a baby. But if in your mind you're not, no, there's no way I'm fucking pregnant. You could trick yourself very easily. Perception is everything.
But I'm sorry, but after like 5-6 months, you ain't lying to yourself. I don't give a fuck.
No, you got to start being at some point.
You're going to feel kicking. You're going to feel all kind of shit going on in there. Contraction.
But I mean, you used to watch. I didn't know I was pregnant. Some of them women say they never got a kick.
But that's the thing. The women who never knew they were pregnant, which somehow I get it, but I don't. But at the same time, like, they're in the middle of their day, or like they got to go to the bathroom with a sharp, weird pain they never felt before, and all of a sudden they got a baby in there. They don't wait a whole 9 fucking months and lie to the technicians and say, "Oh, I never even had sex. I got the."
Yeah, that part's that's too detail specific.
Like, you definitely went into it lying. You knew you were lying from the start.
My point is that this girl could have not known she was pregnant, just like the women on that show did.
I don't know, though.
You're letting the bias of what happened after.
Her friends at school knew and said she knew.
Sure.
If she's talking about it with her friends, then she knew.
Hard. I can't. It's just like with anything. I cannot believe she led an everyday life for 9 months and nobody knew she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody.
And there's another thing, though, that women that can't, or is trying hard and still haven't had a chance to, and you just wasted this opportunity.
That's who you take the chance of running to in prison as well, though.
Yeah.
Which could end up badly.
Coco. Yes,
or
I
people
feel for
that
you, Coco,
done
honey.
something for their children.
Karma or justice, whatever you want. It always get. Look, what did Jeffrey Dahmer go to jail for? Killing young men of color. What happened to Jeffrey Dahmer? A man of color got that fucking payback.
Yeah, he did.
It always happens.
I mean, it leads you to, you know, the father of this, the so-called, I guess they did prove that it was his eventually, right? So, you know, there's a lot to be said about the way some women will lie to men and say, no, you know, he could have seen her getting bigger and bigger and said, hey, you know, we had sex. Is that my baby? And she probably, she could have said no. So he went along his merry little way.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. She could have had sex with somebody else in that guy's mind, right? So, I mean, I could go on and on about that.
Maybe she didn't want to admit it to anybody, and she wasn't.
The story,
admit it to herself.
To use, you know, a lesser word, but the storylines on this are insane. It's like a fucking telenovela.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, I could go further into like.
Sorry you went through that, Coco.
I
Much
know.
love.
Yeah, I mean, he could have asked, and she said no.
It's just you hate to see someone so careless.
Yeah, why didn't you step? You know, and then you have the people that are going to say that don't even think about the other side. Yeah. People that never look at both sides to accuse him of not stepping up and doing something.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even want his name released because the way people cancel culture, whatever you want to call it, acts today, he'll be a villain tomorrow. And it's like, you don't know what this kid's going through. He's losing a kid and his girlfriend.
Exactly. And then you have just like with Coco, you have people out there that would love to have a child and it's just not in it for him in the cards, like you said.
Unfortunately, that's been something that sucked for a long time.
Yeah, that's always been like that.
Because it's like, I know, I guarantee everybody here knows at least one person. We don't want to say it, but we're like, I don't know if they deserve to have a kid. You know what I mean? And then you see someone who can't. You see someone who's like so loving and caring and they can't. And you're like, damn, that sucks. Like, you feel bad for them in that way.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
I said, I'm pretty sure we all know parents where we're like, I don't want to say anyone don't deserve it, but Jesus Christ, act like it's a privilege.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and I always felt that way. I knew I was going to be in my kids' lives. I knew how the kind of dad I was going to be. I knew what it was.
The one thing I was waiting for him to say when I told you I was pregnant, you never did say.
What?
I was waiting for you to ask me if I was sure it was yours.
It was mine.
Well, yeah, but guys react weird and they get nasty when they're afraid. So.
I wanted to keep having sex with you. Why would I say that?
Well, how the fuck was I supposed to know that after you found that out, you still want it? You know what I mean?
No, I know, but I was ready for it.
My baby
based off Bart's reaction to you, we were excited. So I go from that to.
It was a weird situation though, because it's like I was happy, but on the same token, it's a lot of responsibility, and I knew that. You know, I helped fucking raise my siblings and shit like that. Now I don't get these ones back.
I was happy, but I was terrified.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. You don't want to.
You can't give this back.
You don't want to fucking ruin somebody. Like,
how long? Can I ask you a question? And I don't know.
Of course, feel free.
How long were you together before Kellz got pregnant with Junior?
Too soon to tell everybody.
Okay, so the only reason
2 weeks.
The only reason I ask that is that would validate why she would ask that question. Wanted you to.
We were together for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Kellz, do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, you guys had only been together for so long, so she was expecting you to say, "Are you sure it's mine?" You know what I mean?
No, it was under a month.
Yeah,
it was under a month.
We were together 2 weeks. We found out when I was like 2 months already. So
yeah, it was quick.
But you know, it was meant to be. It was God's gift.
I mean, we've lived together pretty much since
day one.
Almost day one, like day 3 or something, like day 4. Because my mom moved out. I was 19. My mom was moving, and she was like, "Yo, I got the house for the rest of the month. It's yours." So we were living it up. You know, my boys were chilling there. it wasn't like, you know, I mean, we were trapping out of there because that's what we did at the time. We sold shit, but it was like, it wasn't like a flop house or a trap head. Like,
you were.
I was still cleaning. I was still cleaning. We were moving shit out. I was still cooking dinner for myself every night. So, but yeah, that was crazy. That was a long time ago now.
It's been 19 years.
About to be 20.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It is 20 in like a month. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Less than a month.
It's crazy. Sometimes I'm like, where the fuck? Especially the last 10 years. Last 10 years went quick.
Yeah, it did. Feels like it went faster than the first 10.
For sure.
Coco, Coco, I don't know if I'm saying this appropriately to you or whatever, but you never know what could happen in your future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You may be blessed with, and you know what?
You see women go through it. They're on fertility drugs for years, and this, I can't. Oh, we lost 5 of them, and then all of a sudden, you're pregnant with quadruplets. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
But I mean, if someone went through that, I'd be happy for them. I'm like, okay, you're getting 4 times the love now.
Yeah, that's the risk you take.
But that's gotta be such a headache.
The IVF.
Could you imagine?
I have Irish twins, and it was like
that's Irish twins is hard enough.
Our son and daughter is only 2 years, 1 month, and 3 days
2 years apart. Yep.
Well, mine are not your typical Irish twins. Kelsey was 8 months when I got pregnant with Michael, so they're like 17.
Okay. Yeah.
But 17 months. I
think
it's like
18. Yeah, it's usually like 7 up to 18. I think they say it.
18 months apart, or
that's
something
9
like that.
and 9 back to back.
Yeah. It's
so, and I agree, Dawn. It was hard. We lost one between them, man. That shit was rough.
That's why August is a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
I had a cousin whose husband was in the Navy. He got stationed in Belgium. She got pregnant. She was full term.
Jesus.
The baby, he was out to sea for X amount of months, however long it was. The baby died somewhere between the 8th and 9th month, I guess, or whatever it was. She didn't want it. They put her on a plane. The baby was deceased inside of her. To come home and deliver a child like that. I've had a friend go in for a scheduled, where they give you the Pitocin and stuff, where you haven't come, so let's schedule it. We're going to get you going, put you up on Pitocin.
Mm-hmm.
They search for a heartbeat. The night before they heard the heartbeat, the morning of, no heartbeat. Mm-hmm. One of the saddest things in my life. Mm-hmm. She would not let go of that baby. They let her hold that baby for as long as she wanted, and she cried and cried. Wow. So when you think of those kind of stories, and those type of stories have touched your life, and then you see people that just take it for granted and just do the unthinkable, that's what angers you. Yep. You know what I mean? That's what gets you angry.
Yeah, it's, I mean, in ways, that's where I lost my faith along the way with things like that. A woman tries for years, has a baby, she's so ecstatic, and baby passes from SIDS.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then like, even with us, it's like, we lost one. You don't always get it in perspective. It's like, so I'm all upset, we lost a kid, but I go to work, and it's like, the people I'm working with are like, hey man, I feel your pain. I lost one at birth. And then the next one's like, oh yeah, I lost twins at birth. And it starts to put it in perspective, like, wow, the world's not against me. It's a lot of people go through shit.
Exactly.
But it doesn't always put it into perspective,
It's almost how much empathy you have for people too. If you're an empath, you like feel, you know what I mean? Like, some people just don't. I still have friends till this day that have never lost a relative yet.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
their
grandmothers like in their 90s, their granddads, and both sets on both sides. Nobody's ever died. I mean, they're smaller families, obviously.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
They don't know what it feels like the number. It's crazy. Like
I said that to Junior. Me and Junior were here the one day, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, you don't know how good you got us, and you got more grandparents than you should have. Like, you should only have 4, right? 2 mom and 2 dad, but they all have, you know, both my Kell's parents and both my parents have been remarried. You know what I mean? So it's like you got fucking 8 grandparents. It's like I had 1.
Yeah,
she passed when I was 19, so I only had her for half my life.
I only met my paternal grandmother. All others were dead before I even was born.
That's what it was with me. My mom's mom, other than my dad's mom, passed when I was 4.
My mom's mom died when she was 30, and she was the youngest of 10. Remember?
Wow.
But my father's mother was the only one that was alive, and so. I don't know, but my mother had such older brothers and sisters. Most of them were like grandparents to me because they were so much older.
Sure. Yeah, it was the same way with me. And my mom was the baby, so it was like.
So was my mom.
Her brother and my Aunt Kath, who's passed, and my Uncle Bill, who's passed. It was like they were grown by the time my mom was like. My mom is only 6 years older than her nephew. My mother's oldest sister's daughter was almost the same age as her. Kellz has a younger aunt. Yeah, so my mom was like 8, and her niece, which she always thought was her cousin, you know, when they were little, was, you know, like 6. So I mean, when you have 10 kids and they're like that spread out. Dawn, that is one of the hardest things I've ever attended. Babies, I couldn't. I spent the entire funeral distracting myself because we couldn't get a babysitter. So I was keeping my kids basically like downstairs, like in the office, essentially. And it was me and my friend, a guy, Gary, I know he's passed now as well. But it's like we were basically distracting my kids. Kellz had to be up there. It was like Kellz and my mom, they were friends. It was like Kell's best friend. It was a maid of honor. So it was like, you know what I mean? That shit was fucking just, traumatizing. Any bit of faith I got back was gone that day. So sometimes you just have to look at like, it just really puts a lot in perspective when you think about when you have that woe is me day. Exactly. And you think, you know, sometimes I yell at myself and say, are you fucking kidding, Pam? Yep. Seriously. I started getting pissed because the damn pharmacy line was long last night. And I had to stop myself because a man in front was so kind to me. He was like, held the door for me. He let me get in front of him in the line. I mean, just so nice. And he just turned my mood around. You know what I mean? Yep. It's just. No, I mean, every now and then we need to smack ourselves into perspective. I get that way. I get that way all the time. Tragic things happen. And it's how we handle it and support people that's important. And, you know. I have to do that sometimes. I'll be like, this sucks. My life sucks. I'm like, I live in a house with my wife and 2 kids. My mom is in this town. My dad is in this town. They're both alive still. I'm 40. Both my parents are still like. You have siblings. I have siblings that I care about, that I'm in touch with. I have fucking friends. I have people I care about. Like, there's so much to be grateful for. Sometimes you just got to remind yourself. Yeah, you have to. And it's human nature. It's human nature to, you know. Mm-hmm. You bitch about your job. I understand that. It's a catch-22 on here. I said that. I tell you, King told earlier today. You want to reveal certain things because you want people to know, hey, I'm a normal person. I'm transparent. You know, but it's like on the same token, that stuff can be trolled. I'm going to tell you what. If it happens in my presence, I won't allow it. And I'm going to tell you what. If somebody does troll you about some stuff like that, they look like a freaking idiot as far as I'm concerned. Yep, always. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people pay enough attention to that. I see in chats today, it's like, you're just oblivious to what you look like right now, huh? Mm-hmm. Like if anybody were to ever troll somebody about the death of a child or not being able to conceive or whatever, you're a freaking loser, okay? I can't see Victor Coco. Salute, Coco. There he goes. Salute, Coco. There he is. Okay. Messed up. Salute, Coco. Victor Coco. We have two
Victor
Cocos.
Coco.
Victor.
Coco.
Wolfgang.
Coco Pink, hun, I got your back on that. If I see anybody do that kind of crap, I don't tolerate that shit.
Definitely.
I'm the same way. I've seen things against people I don't really even talk to anymore, and I curse somebody out. Don't do that shit.
Play that shit.
You know, we've had our ups and downs in these YouTube streets, but
Yep.
we know who has I think I go based on my own opinion. I know who's inherently good and who are the freaking people that could give two shits less. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I said it today, and I think in one of the chats or a couple of the chats, Tommy D, you could say what you want about Tommy, but Tommy's done good in his life as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
You know, you get a little pissed. It sort of goes away after a while, but they're undeniably.
But he's an evolving bonehead.
Yep.
If I were perfect, that would be like me saying I'm freaking perfect. You can't. You know what I mean? There are some things that people do that are unforgivable, or you just keep them at arm's length. But
Maybellina.
Oh my God! But there are people that make mistakes and redeem themselves, and they have done good things. You know what I mean? So
I think honestly, to be 100% with you, I think a lot of the people who come at Tommy about shit, they don't know what that life is. They have no idea. Like I come from, I know people in that life, so I'm like, yo, dude, you make great strides. Give yourself because I know, like, even getting on methadone is a huge step for people. If you're not from that world, you don't know it. Right. That's just what it is.
It's easier to say, and I respect, and like, he's going to have to understand that people are going to push him to try to get off of it. But at the same token, he stands up for himself and says, you know what? I've come this far. I'm too scared. Yep. I'm not risking what I have to try to do it. I can't
watch any video about Kensington, and you'll see thousands of people that will not leave heroin alone for methadone, even though it's free.
I've always, he's being, what man his age doesn't want to have his own place and be out on his own and blah, blah, blah. Of course he fucking wants that, but he's doing what's best for his kids. That's a selfless act as far as I'm concerned, but.
Yep. Like I said, if you don't come from it, you won't really fully understand it. That's all I really think it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we all make
mistakes. It is Pammy Maybellina.
It is me, honey. How are you, babe? Maybellina.
But, yeah, you got to come from that life or you don't know it.
Exactly. So, my point being, we all make mistakes. It's up to the person to whether or not they're going to forgive them or whatever. That's not my call. It's personal. And it depends on what you do, how far across the line you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's different people will take it further than others. And like I said, you got to understand what you look like when you act like that.
Right. And you take into account, these are some people that you'll never see in your life, and they could sign off tomorrow. And you're like, what? And you're letting them disrupt your entire life?
Yep.
Seriously?
Or your happiness or whatever. Yep.
Exactly. So.
No, they're great episodes, ladies.
Exactly. We had a great. I mean, the topics were real topics we're talking
about.
Well,
you know, the first hour was a little more loose and fun, and then we got a little more serious in the second half. That's kind of what we wanted to be, you know, one or the other.
Exactly, and I hope that everybody enjoyed the topics tonight, because I think it's good to talk about this kind of stuff, because sometimes people think that they're the only ones going through certain things, and it just brings to light that we're more alike than we are different, okay?
Exactly.
So, I'm good, Maybellina, honey. How are you? I see you.
Yeah, I'm great, Maybellina. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. I see you working hard. Maybellina, you look like you work at a nice place, man. They have like a rooftop lunch area and all kinds of stuff.
Hey. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm so glad to see. I was glad to see a lot of some people that she's like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. No, I was glad to see some new faces pop up and some of the old ones. And, you know, thanks to some of those ladies that stopped over tonight from the other community. Angel NWO stopped in. Like, that's awesome.
You know what? All of the new people that I've met over at KT so far, and the lady, I mean, like really interact with the guys, but
Yeah.
all of the ladies are so nice.
There's been a few good guys in there too. Yeah, I met a few of the guys.
Yeah,
and,
like
yeah,
a few of the guys. I think Angel said hi to me today. Like it's just.
Well, I think what a lot of it is they went through a lot of the same shit, just like on the other side of the street. So we're all kind of like meeting in the middle now. And we're like, oh, you're the good people from there. Well, we're the good people from here. Let's click up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But KT with his nicknames and shit, I don't know who the hell is who. But
I believe it.
his editing of that one clip of Tommy and
the frenemies.
Yeah, the frenemies where they're dancing together and the mafia
I cracked the
music.
fuck up.
I'm dying. I'll hit him up behind the scenes and say, "You're brilliant, dude. You are."
I did
brilliant.
tell him. I said, "Man, you are on a fucking roll."
Which speaking of, he's on, so you guys can head over.
Oh, he's on actually, guys. So we're gonna wrap up in a minute anyway. Make sure you go check out King Troll. Which one is he on? Hold on. Let me see. I got something here.
Is he on right now?
Yeah.
He started about 20 minutes ago.
All righty. Well, I guess we'll all
So,
go.
guys,
head
we
over
will
there.
see you next Tuesday for another Convos for Pamela J, Queen Kellz, and myself. We couldn't do this without you guys. Give yourselves a big round of applause. This has been Convos brought to you by DirtyKenzoproductions. We'll see y'all next week. Pammy, we appreciate you, sis.
Well, I appreciate you guys more. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And again, great show. Appreciate y'all.
Definitely. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you around these YouTube streets.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.